Hey guys, it's BW and I'm back out in the garage. Listen, we're going to get right to it. The brake system we put in last week is mechanically sound, it functions fine, the pedals move beautifully, but I hate the appearance. Plus some people said some awful mean things to me on the internet. So we're going to make a change. We're going to go to a manual setup. The good news is the master cylinder I have is fine for a manual setup. It's a 1-inch bore GM Corvette style master cylinder. It's fine. So that's what we're going to use. I'll sell the booster and the bracket at a later date. The one thing I'm concerned about is how I make the connection between the foot pedal and the master cylinder. I think we have enough stuff here. Maybe the old push rod will work. I was talking to Jaws, he seems to think so too. So why don't you guys stick around and check us out. Alright guys, well my son Jonathan come over and helped me get that booster and bracketry off, one guy on each side of the bolt. Come off pretty easy, and we bolted up the master cylinder and it looks good too. John, why don't you pull the camera down and show him real quick. Looks good, man. Alright, so we're gonna go with that. Come out really good. Now my buddy Kevin's coming over on Saturday and we're gonna work on running the brake lines, and we'll get them bled out and have brakes before you know it. So we're happy with that. I didn't hook the push rod up yet because it's kind of dirty. I want to clean it up. I'm going to paint it black and I'll put it on tomorrow. We have a little extension piece that comes with the master cylinder if it was power brake for the booster. We're not going with the booster, so we get rid of this. This just goes into the pedal assembly and the master cylinder itself up underneath. Here, I'll show him, John. Yep. Alright, so excuse me, I'm bouncing you on the camera a little bit. Alright, you can see the hole where the master cylinder is, and the rod will go in there and it'll hook right onto the pedal hole right there with the pin. Alright, so we're happy with it, and that's what we're going to go with. Alright, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hey guys, it's the next day. We're back out in the garage. I got those brackets that go from the pedal to the dashboard in from Love It Speed Shop. Went ahead and polished them up and painted them. I also, while I was at it, polished up and painted the stock push rod for the brakes. Why don't you guys take a look at those real quick. Alright, they come out pretty good. I apologize about the background noise, but it's raining pretty good on a tin roof, so we're just going to have to deal with it. My buddy Kevin was supposed to come over today and we were going to work on the brake lines. He had to cancel. So I'm just going to go ahead and install this push rod and these brackets from Love It Speed Shop. And then we're going to find some other stuff to do on the car just to finish out this video because, well, we're not going to be able to work on the brakes today. That's alright. There's plenty to do on this hot rod. Alright guys, well we got those brackets bolted in that the Love It Speed Shop gave us to stiffen up our pedals. Come out really well, and we also bolted in the push bar, the stock push bar for the manual brake system, and it looks good too. So I'll show you guys that real quick. Alright, so take a look. There's these nice rods we reconditioned, and they end up right there. They go up in, one goes there, the other one right there ends up right up in there, and that stiffens up our pedal system. So we're grateful for the Lovitz for that. Thank you very much, Herb, Alicia, appreciate it. And then we went ahead and we also bolted up our stock push rod right there. All right, I screwed it all the way in until it bottomed out and backed it off about a turn and a half, so we got a little tiny bit of play. We'll see how that works out for us. When my buddy gets freed up, we'll get these brakes going. I also mounted that reservoir for the clutch, that little reservoir for the clutch. We got that mounted on the firewall. That's right there. All right, right there to our master cylinder. Now, just to see this hose right here, all right, I want to put a mount on the bottom of the firewall right by the toe board right here to stiffen it up. One of these jobs, you know, I'll weld a little thing on there with one of them clips to hold it, and we'll just run a little piece of hard wire from, or excuse me, hard piping from right here into here. That'll be perfect. Then that other one hanging down there, that's the bleeder that comes out of there. I was figuring to mount that right off of one of the bell housing bolts. We'll make a little bracket up for that. I was going to get under there in a minute and look at that. As it goes for the brakes, it really isn't going to take that much, guys. We got the master cylinder ready to go right here. And let me see if I can get the camera down in here for you to show you. Look right here. These are the two for the two front brakes right here, okay? Got that right there. They're ready to go. We just got to get them up to the master cylinder, or excuse me, to the proportioning valve and then up into the master cylinder. The other line for the back brakes is over here on the passenger side. It's just forward of the transmission mount. Show you that real quick. That's right there. All right, this top one right here, that's the brake line. This is our fuel line right here. But I just figured I was waiting until my buddy to get his bender and do a little fancy around this, because it's kind of pushed down on the transmission bar right now, but that's when I installed that. So we're really close with the brakes. So it really isn't going to take that much. When my buddy gets a free minute to come over here, we'll get that knocked out quick. So right now I'm looking for jobs to do on the hot rod, and there's plenty. I was thinking about starting to mock up my exhaust, but I'm gonna have to get some parts. And because I think I found the color in that ceramic coat that I want to paint the headers. I want to sandblast the headers back out. I'm going to paint them, I think, in a burnt bronze. I'm going to do the exhaust, and I'm hoping to have it dumped like right before the back tire. Have a nice big 3-inch pipe coming out right here and cut it off on an angle. It'll look really cool. I'm thinking that's what I want to do anyway. We'll see how it works out. But I got a couple jobs that I'm brewing up. I still got to weld this window in. I got a couple little tacks, but I got to finish welding that in. So there's a couple hodgepodge of jobs. Let me shut the camera down, take a look around, and I'll bring you guys back in. We got to get something done this weekend. We're having a nice time. Be right back. All right, guys. Well, I'm looking at a couple different things I want to get done this week, all while I'm watching our buddy Ironhead Garage over on the big screen. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, I urge you all to do so. I'm watching his latest video. He's making a correction to his front end. Doing a heck of a job over there, building another 55 gasser. The world needs as many as possible. So if you guys haven't checked out Chris over at Ironhead, I suggest you do so. All right, got a really good channel, and he's building a really cool car. All right, guys, let me show you what I got cooking over here in our shop. Right now, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with our exhaust system. I'm trying to get a few projects going at once because parts are just trickling in right now. The mail service is really messed up. I've been waiting for the bottom strap for our steering to come in. It was supposed to be here Wednesday. It still isn't here. I have everything else to do the steering, so I couldn't work on that today. My buddy got jammed up, so we couldn't work on the brake lines today, and I don't have the proper tools for that. So we got to wait on that. And, you know, so I figured let me get as many jobs going at once as I can. So right now, I'm thinking about designing the exhaust system. All right, so I bolted these on temporarily. They came with the headers whenever I got them. Down here at the bottom, they're 2.5, but it tapers up. You know, we want 3-inch exhaust. We want this thing to breathe the whole way back. So I imagine I'll be able to cut them back to be 3 inches once I get the stuff, because I'm looking at, I need to see what's out there, guys. I think I'd like to have a dump right here with a old school flange, you know, 3-bolt old school flange. That way we go to the track, we could just run open headers, take them right off, flange them up when we're on the street. Look kind of cool. You know, you can get those cutouts. I'll look at them, but a couple people told me that they leak pretty good after a while, so I'm thinking I'll go with the old school flange. All right, I'm not going to do anything crazy here on this exhaust. It's basically going to be a straight run, straight back. All right, and we're going to dump right before the back tire, nice 45, come out on a nice angle. It'll look really good, I think. You know, we'll make our own brackets and probably take two hangers to get it back there the way we want it. So that's what I'm looking at. I got to see what's out there. There's a, you know, a couple different mufflers I want to look at. The old glass packs, the thrusters, the purple hornies. I'll look and see what's out there. Whatever I get, I'm gonna sandblast everything. I'm gonna build it, the whole exhaust, sandblast it, sandblast the headers, and then we're gonna ceramic coat them. I'm leaning towards burnt bronze right now, but we'll see. But I want to get those built, and that's really not that much. I could probably get most of everything I want at a local auto store, maybe minus the dump right here. Like I say, but we'll see. I'm gonna go in, order what I can get, and we'll take it from there. But that's what I'm looking at for that. All right. There's a couple other little nickel and dime jobs that I want to look at. I got to get a couple of these, or are they bulkhead fittings, I guess you would call them. And I want to make a couple of these plates up to weld on, and so I got clips ready to go, because I want to have that ready for when my buddy comes over. The clutch hose, I want to have that already mounted, so all we got to do is bend a piece of brake line and get it into that master cylinder and be done with it. And I'm going to look at, I'm going to climb under there and measure right now about what I can do to put that bleeder off to one side with its own bracket as well. All right, so those are the things I'm looking at. Oh, I also pulled the proportioning valve out, because I think I want to make a little tiny bracket for that as well. It's, when it's flush up against it, the knob would rub. So I either got to put it up higher on the frame and drill it in, or just build a little bump out bracket with a couple tapped holes that I could weld onto the side of the frame. Either way, I need 1/4-20 hardware, and I have none. So it's Sunday evening. I'm not really gonna try to run down to Home Depot over a 2 1/4-20s. I'll stop at True Value on the way home tomorrow. Not a big deal. So that's where we're at with the car. And like I say, I'm gonna work harder to get some more parts in here so we can always jump right on to the next thing. I got one little small job I can do here. I could run a series of about 12 welds to finish out this window well, but you know, I don't feel like welding it. You probably don't feel like watching me today. Weld. Excuse me, watch me weld. All right, so we're gonna call this a video. It's an update. As long as you're in the garage doing something, the car's moving forward. All right, and we're getting there. You know, we got, if anything else, we got plans in place. So that's what we're gonna go with for right now. So until next week, take care, everybody.